pissing, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 Boogie like pissing, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like elf. I thank God every day I'm not a Falcon. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shade for the championship. Bucking on Tampa, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Fucking like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 Boogie like this and I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
All right. What's up, Who That Nation? How you doing tonight, man? Welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam. What's popping? Shout out to the mighty Who That Nation. Big ups to the fam. Appreciate y'all being in this thing for this episode of the Coma. Won't be a very long stream, of course, because we're going to be looking at the Pelican game tipping off after 7. So this is not going to be a long stream. I thought I could just slip one in right quick before the Pelican Postgame Report live scoreboard on the Pelican Postgame Report YouTube platform. So if y'all not Pels fans, if y'all don't know where that is, just put it in the search engine. It'll pop up there. So we'll be doing the Pelican recap stream following the game. So for all my Pelican diehards, go to the Pelican Postgame Report and subscribe, hit the notification bell as well in that thing, because we're going to open up the phone lines for the family members after the Clippers matchup. So shout out to the fan. Appreciate y'all being in this thing. Let's get into it. Okay, first and foremost, the injury report, the final injury report for this week in the regular season against the Falcons, as Jerry calls them. And here we go. So 18, this week 18, final week, the Saints have 11 players on this list. Jawan Johnson is listed as questionable. He was limited today in Friday's practice. You had Lonnie Johnson Jr., who's out. Elvin is questionable. Did not practice the entire week. You know, he had that ankle issue that took him into the locker room. You know, the Saints have pretty much held him down the whole week. He has a questionable designation. We're going to need him. Landon Young is out. Landon was doing a phenomenal job at the right tackle position. He's out. We'll be looking at Cam Irvin to occupy the right tackle position, perhaps for the Saints in the final matchup of the regular season. Kalen Saunders, the big defensive tackle there, had a concussion. He fully practiced. He's listed as questionable. Kendre Miller, ankle issue, questionable. A.T. Perry is fully practiced. He's listed as questionable for the game. McCoy is fine. Chris Olave's fine. Peyton Turner we'll talk about Peyton Turner momentarily. Has some good news on him. And J.T. Gray was DNP'd for this Friday practice, questionable for the matchup, the final matchup against the Falcons. And of course, the Falcons, not a lot of stuff going on with them. Calais Campbell was rested, so he'll be ready to go. Drew Dalman, the center, is out. DeMarco Helms is out. Mike Hughes, the cornerback, DNP'd the Wednesday, but he fully practiced at the end. He's listed as questionable. Patterson will be good to go. Anderson is out, the linebacker, and both Harrison and Tyler Heineke are listed as questionable, even though they did practice on this final in Friday's practice. So that's some of the stuff going on right there that the Saints will have to adjust to. And we'll see what's going on with Elvin. I know a lot of people won't see what happens with Elvin Kamara, but when you have the Falcons and the Saints get together at any point of the season, it's, you know, especially toward the end of the season, you got to throw out the records and realize that these two teams are going to try to play the best way they can, especially with the Saints having something to quote unquote play for. We'll see what happens there, man. It's going to be interesting to see which version of the New Orleans Saints shows up against the Falcons, because that is the biggest thing that we all talk about, is who's going to show up against the Falcons in the dome for week 18. That's the bottom line. We don't know. This is a Jekyll and Hyde type of thing. This team is inconsistent. It mirrors the up and down nature of Dennis Allen as a head coach. So we don't know which Saint team. We can only hope, and I'm throwing out the hopium for all the who that's out there who want some hopium. Some people have already sailed in on the season. They aren't already sailed in on the season. But for those out there that want some hopium, that's pretty much what they're going to give you, because none of them really talking any decisive talk like we guarantee to win. We going to go out and win the game. You don't hear none of that kind of stuff. It's hopium, it's flittery, soft talk, all this type of stuff. No, man up, we're going to go and get this W. We're going to handle the business. None of that going on. Just none of that. Now, I would really like to hear that confidence, but I don't hear none of that going on, man. They would not dare open their mouths and guarantee to win. Are you kidding? All right, so anyway, let's get into this. Saints have activated defensive end Peyton Turner. This is also something that just happened with the Saints not too long ago. Peyton Turner finally comes back after missing pretty much all of this, the majority of the season. Isn't this is so Davenport-esque, and but he finally comes better back for the final matchup of the season against the Falcons. He was activated from the IR, so Peyton Turner makes it back just in time for the final game, and they placed Nephi Sewell on the IR today. It was announced by I don't evaluate anybody. I don't evaluate. I just can't handle it. My emotions. Listen. I feel bad sometimes. When I win, I'm happy and I can't do my job. And when I'm sad, I can't do my job. Oh, it's tough living with emotions. I don't know how people can make decisions with emotions. That's why I don't make any decisions with any emotions. I just said I don't evaluate. I don't do what a general manager does. I just wait till the season is over with. And not exactly when the season is over with. I wait 2 to 3 weeks after the season to make sure all of the emotions is gone before I make a decision. That's how I do it. That guy, Turner, 6'6", 270, was originally selected by the Saints in the first round, 28th overall out of the 21 draft. 13 games he played in, making 29 tackles, 3 sacks, 1 block field goal, recorded 1 tackle in the season opening over Tennessee before suffering a toe injury that forced him to be placed on the injury reserve. So Peyton Turner makes it back oh my God. He makes it back just in enough time for the Atlanta Falcons a game. So isn't that cool? Isn't that cool, who that? All right, anyway, let's keep it pushing, man. Let's get into the what we're gonna talk about here. We're gonna get into the Dennis Allen thing, man. We're gonna play a little Dennis Allen. Give me just a second. Let me kind of get it tuned up here with Dennis Allen here. Hold on. All right, hey, hold on here. There we go. All right, so Dennis Allen, we're gonna play his little press conference right here and see what he got to say. Don't worry, y'all. If y'all just ate, don't worry. It's only 4 minutes. I would not play it after you guys ate because you're liable to upchuck. But anyway, I'm gonna play just 4 minutes of Dennis Allen with his thoughts on the Atlanta game. Here we go.
Illness. Yeah.
And have you come up with final status on any of the guys that have been missing all week, including Al?
No, look, all those guys are basically going to be listed as questionable. We'll see where they're at. Look, Alvin's a guy that, he's one of those guys that's so valuable to our team. We're going to go all the way up till game time to see where he's at. So he's made improvement throughout the week, and we'll just wait till game time to make a decision on that. Yeah, look, we're gonna activate Peyton this week, and I think we'll see him out there on Sunday.
Has Alvin been able to test ankle at all, or has it just been all rehab this week?
Well, look, I think all of it is, they're testing it out with everything that he's doing. Again, like I said, he's made significant improvement. He hasn't really done anything out on the field. But yet that's kind of expected for where he's at in the rehab process. But again, we'll just see where he's at on Sunday.
Dennis, last week I asked you about the response of the team just throughout the week of practice, and you said it was good, and obviously it translated over to that win on Sunday. What I guess has gone right just in the overall making the the team the last few weeks to be on this roll or it's kind of trending in the right direction for this group?
Yeah, look, I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into it. I just think our guys have overall played better, executed better. I think everybody understands where we're at as a football team, and we got a bunch of guys that want to fight and want to compete, and we understand our backs are against the wall, and I think they've responded to that challenge. We got one more challenge on Sunday, so I think our guys have had a good week of practice, but now it goes into it's got to translate to Sunday, and so I'm excited about watching our guys go out and play.
Always got a good practice. I mean, always have a good practice. Every week is a great practice. The team set up here 8-8, but every week is a great practice. They never have any bad practices. I just wish I could have some of these practices tape. Gundam, shout out to you. Appreciate some of y'all chiming in the chat. Much love to all the fam. Y'all hit the like button for me. Shout out to everybody, man. Let me give a quick shout out to the whole fam. Gundam, shout out to you, OG Jerry. Shout out to you. Good to see you in the stream as well, Brother Roberts in this thing. RB was popping. Shout out to you guys. All right, BPM 8264. Who that? Shout out to you. What's up, Kathleen? Shout out to the queens in the building. Brother Kevin, shout out to you. Good to see you in the building as well. Brother Daniel, yes, sir. It's pretty good, man. It's raining my way, but shout out to you. Appreciate you. Hope you had a good week as well. A very productive week for you, sir. All right, big ups to St. Doug. How you doing, my brother? Appreciate you. WB3 was popping. WB3 in this thing. He said, don't you know these people call security on me because they say I was rooting too loud for the Saints at Raymond James Stadium. I told them to kick rocks. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Shout out to you, Willie. Appreciate you. Good to hear from you, bro. All right, Argentinian Dogo says, yeah. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. CJ, what's happening, man? Big ups to you. Good to see you. Brother Gregory, how you doing, sir? What's up? What's popping? Good to see you as well. Skull Crusher said it should have stayed like a different coach. All right. Thank you, Skull Crusher. Big ups to you as well. Much love to the fam, man. Let's finish up.
Some of the players said this week you kind of challenged them about commitment and loyalty and stuff. Maybe last week. What was your point there? You're just trying to finish.
Well, look, I think this. I think everybody wants to win, and everybody is willing to work to win. But there's a certain level of commitment that it takes to really win at a high level in our league. And I just think, we had to put a little bit more into it, a little bit more into the preparation, a little bit more focus into it. Because if you want to be a playoff team or a championship caliber team, it takes a little bit extra. And I just challenged our guys to give that little bit of extra. I thought our guys responded the right way last week. We'll see how they respond this week, but I feel good about the way they've prepared.
All right, so this is the thing. He's absolutely right. I actually agree with Dennis Allen. I don't disagree with a lot of stuff that he's saying, but he's right. And it takes not just a little bit more, it takes a lot more, man. Really, because the Saints are a team, really, if you look at it, and we will go and do a season recap or a review of what happened for the Saints this year, how the Saints was gifted with an extremely agreeable schedule and end up at one game left, 8-8. I mean, you had rebuilding teams, a rookie team in Carolina. You had an Atlanta team which a lot of people thought would be your biggest competition. You had a Tampa Bay team that was with Tom Brady was gone. Baker Mayfield took over the team. So there was a lot of things that was given. The Saints spent a lot of money on the offense since up until week 9 or after week 9. They had pretty much all of their starters on offense. They missed Kamara for several weeks prior to the season because of the suspension, but outside of that, they had Jamal Williams, a guy that had 18 rushing touchdowns last year. So and then the thing about it is with the Kamara thing, they had ample time to prepare for that, ample time to the point where they knew what they needed to do, and they even drafted a guy in Kendre Miller also provide some help, even though Kendre was up and down. And if somebody asked the question, I think Gundam or whomever asked the question about Kendre Miller, he's questionable. He did not practice Friday, so he's been really, you can't count on Kendre Miller. I really think they should just shut him down and go with James Robinson, the guy they got on the practice squad who has some experience. I really do. They need to shut Kendre Miller down. He's been suffering with injuries up and on for the entire length of the season. You need to just shut him down and go to another guy, because we're going to need somebody with Jamal Williams to activate. The Saints, credit to them, did go out and get a guy with some experience there. Now, outside of what Dennis Allen is saying, the Saints really have nobody to blame except for themselves. He talked about commitment to winning. The commitment to winning. Now, does that fit the Saints? And I don't want to get too long of a spiel up into it, because I really don't have a lot of time to get off into it like I usually do, because I'm up against the Pelicans matchup. But to me, the commitment to win has been fleeting for the Saints. Well, at least the commitment to win 50% of the time, which will represent the 8-8 mark that they currently have. A lot of these games we had in hand and then would allow them to lead. So he's going to have to question not only the intelligence, but the heart of these guys, man, for real. And I'm talking about as a collective, all of them. They have he's at the top of the snake. So he has to question his commitment to win and his commitment to adjusting to things that he needs to do to keep the team progressive. And when I think about progressive and I think about imaginative, those things do not describe this current head coach. It doesn't. I'm not trying to throw down on the guy, but I know what Dennis Allen is and I know what he isn't. There is no question mark about what that is. So let's finish up with this stuff. Here we go.
Without D5, is that, complicated in terms of Zach? Obviously, he's been more involved in the pass rush role. Is he going to be kind of back in the same role? Or
Well, look, much like we've done every week with Zach, I mean, he's still got to prepare, for the linebacker role. And so, he's probably had maybe a little bit more of that this week, but I don't think much has really changed in terms of his preparation. He's kind of had to prepare, for both roles, and I think he's done a good job of doing that.
Dennis Allen, to me, like I've said before about Dennis Allen, I know what Dennis Allen is and what Dennis Allen isn't. And to me, like I've always said, and I've said this the entire season, I'm not mad at Dennis Allen. I'm really not. Like I said, I know who the man is. But when you talk about who is above him, and if you got Dennis Allen as the head coach of the team, and you see he doesn't make changes, changes in terms of to his personnel. Like you had the offensive line that was stinking and stumbling, fumbling. He should have been more on that, making a change, putting pressure on the OC, the offensive coach and the offensive line coach and offensive coordinator to call better games and remove guys, put guys in there, switch things up to see if you get a different result. He didn't do none of that. He stepped with the same stuff the entire year. But he has an overseer, and that's lack of better words, an overseer in the terms of a general manager, which is also a very loose term to use for Mickey Loomis, because Mickey Loomis's flaws as a general manager are totally amplified without Sean Payton. And when you have a coach that you have to be over his shoulder because he never had a winning record in his entire career as a head coach in the NFL, you have to have more scrutiny for this man than you would do a Sean Payton, who's a proven head coach. That laid back approach that Loomis took over him is stupid. It's stupid as hell. And then when the Who-Dats, because he's getting pressure, that's why you hear him talking like this. And then you see all of his elitist attitude, his elitist mindset come out when he started talking. Like he called the reporters who were reporting on stuff about the team. They just didn't make this stuff or pull it out of their backside about the players that was going on the team. Oh, that's just lazy and unsophisticated reporting. No, they're not making it up. They don't have to. The players talk to the reporters. They're in the locker room. They have a relationship with these people. You don't think for a second. That's how Ian Rappaport and any of these other insiders, man, get information. How you think they get information about what's going on with the team? And Ian Rappaport and what's the other dude, Schefter, them dudes be paying them guys, man. They pay for information. They're information brokers. That's what it is. An insider don't just like them that much where they trade information with them. No, he's paying them for the information. He's an information broker. That's what's going on. So these people paying for information, they know what time it is on the inside of that locker room. And those players have a respect for those reporters, and they talk to them. And they tell them what time it is. And for him to call them unsophisticated and lazy because they're reporting or they're bringing out articles about the team, they don't have to. We have a very good crop of reporters that's covering the team over the last several years. I've been giving them major accolades over the last several years. We have an excellent, this is by far to me, and I've been doing this for a while, the best crop of reporters that are covering the Saints. We have the best right now. I mean, the best group of people that we've had in a long time. They really are solid. And they have some heart and they have some balls. They have all of that. They're willing to ask the tough questions to some of these guys the majority of the time. And then you have guys that are not. And we know who those weaklings are and those placators are. We know who they are. We pinpoint and point those guys out all the time for throwing up softball questions when you don't have to. Like it's just ridiculous. But we know who the writers are who are doing a great job and are staying on them. We say them all the time on here. So for him to say that about the reporters, and for him to, I'm not going to do that. Like he's Urkel, like he's sound like straight up Steve Urkel when he bust that move when the man asked him, wait, Mickey, with the season coming to, well, you got the quarterback situation, and we got, and toward the back end of the season, and you got some people, we got Jaden Daniels, and of course he had to dress it like the fans, he called them, or I said supporters. The supporters asked the question. Notice he always throw it on you. Well, listen, I didn't say this, but the people said it. So that he don't be mad at the reporter, he be mad at you. He already mad at you. He mad at you because you putting pressure on him to step up and do a job that he don't want to do. So he'll say crazy stuff. Like in the last one I got him on, it tore him up on about this thing about I won't do my job. He don't do evaluations during the season because he wants to keep the emotion out of it. And I made a comparison and I said, man, if you had governors or bureaucrats, politicians, pilots. I mean, my goodness, pilots, truck drivers, you name the profession that said, hey, listen, I'm too happy today. I'm not going to do my job. Or I'm too sad today. I'm not going to do my job because I'm just too emotional. You take a break, you go somewhere, you get it together. But for you to say for the entire season that to take the emotion out of it, you're not going to do nothing. What are you doing during the season, man? How old it is? Mickey got to be every bit of 60, 70 something years old. Talking about he don't do his job. And he's a general manager, which general managers evaluate stuff. They do it every week. They're supposed to. Evaluations are reports that tell you what's shaking inside of the building, what's going on, what areas of the team is weak, so that maybe I need to go and see if I can find somebody to strengthen that up. What do I need to do? Are there any disgruntled players that I need to meet with, that I need to talk to? Do I need to schmooze out something with a player and a coach situation? That's his job. That's his job. But I don't do none of that because my emotions is too much up in it. And I'm going to just wait till the end of the season. And by the way, the end of the season is 2 to 3 weeks after the season is over with before you get a press conference. End of the season don't mean a week or 3 days after the season over with, here go a report on what we're going to do with the team. He's supposed to be working on that right now. You don't need to wait till the season is over with so you can start thinking about what you're going to do after the season. See, this is lazy and unsophisticated behavior because he don't want to do nothing. And when you put pressure on him to do something, he gets all agitated and says that you're not qualified to know how to judge his people, or a lot of these guys are not qualified. They're not qualified to judge NFL coaches. You're not qualified. He ain't worrying about the Atlanta Falcons coaches. He talking about his bull crap head coach on the screen. Oh, I'm like, you're not. Some of these people are not qualified. And I'm like, okay, Loomis, what kind of degree do you need to do or have where you go and talk to somebody about being qualified to look at NFL personnel? They're not scouting nobody, fool. They're not scouting anybody. They can look. People have common sense. That's something they got more than what the hell he got. Let me tell you something. They don't need to be qualified or no qualification from your smell ass for them to go out and see that this product on the field is not a good product. This is an 8-8 ball club with a soft schedule this year. There's no excuse for this. But it's 8-8 coming down to the season with the Falcons, and they have to beat the Falcons and literally pray for other teams to fail so they can get in the playoffs. Isn't this something? There is no pressure on Dennis Allen to win games at the end of the year. There is no pressure. He is no ultimatum issued for this man. There's no ultimatum. So at the end of the day, when this all goes awry, he's going to disappear for several weeks after the season. And then they'll release it, they'll leak it to the media, the guys that they're cool with, the ones that give the softball questions that I told y'all to watch out for. And then later on, weeks later, they'll come back with something else and talk about it. Oh, yeah, then they'll let it leak already 3 weeks ago that Dennis Allen jobs is good. How's his job good before the 2 games? He hadn't even finished playing the rest of the season before you make an evaluation. But I forgot. You don't make evaluations during the season, only after the season. It's bull. This is not a real general manager is what I'm trying to tell y'all. Real general managers elected not to do interviews or better yet evals on their team. This is not a general manager. This guy's more of a VP than he is anything. He had his Peyton's knowledge and his aggression is the reason why this damn team was successful for so many years, because Peyton told him, "Get me this guy." You can't afford that guy. Well, make it happen, Mickey. Okay. So Mickey, he cooks the books and he kicks the can. That is what Mickey Loomis does. But you talking about somebody with an idea about how to get a failing football team to turn around, that's not your guy. That's why Roseman fleeces him when he tries to trade with him. And his words were, "Man, I got to keep my hands in my pockets." When Roseman comes around with Howie Roseman, the general manager of the Philadelphia Eagles, and he trade, "I got to keep my hands in my pockets. I got to keep my hands in my pockets." No, you don't have to keep your hands in your pockets, but those guys are exposing you for you not being a general manager. Like I've said, Coach Peyton is really a lot bigger than what he was here. We have sidekicks here. If Peyton had this team would be at least a 10-win team. There is no excuse for the Saints 8-8 on this soft-ass schedule with all of these people in this division missing Tom Brady with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They got Baker Mayfield trying to take the division. The Carolina Panthers fell through the floor, and Atlanta struggling with all kind of problems. And yet the Saints sitting up here 8-8. And then when they win last week and do a half-ass job offensively speaking, because the offense died in the second half, they had to kick field goals. So, I mean, at the end of the day, man, I've watched this team and all the way up until this point. I'm not satisfied with this. This is not good. So at the end of the day, we're going to see what they do and watch what happens, man. Do not be fooled by none of this, because they've been cooking this stuff up about these injuries. 2 weeks ago, they was not letting injuries be a thing. Dennis Allen said several weeks earlier that the injuries that happened to Derek Carr did not impact his play on the field. I got it on tape. Then all of a sudden, yesterday and coming in toward the end of the season, they asking Carr about injuries. "Oh, you was banged up, wasn't you, today?" "Oh, yeah, I've been banged up since Green Bay." And remember the broken rib situation? They did not tell you that until several weeks ago. And they said it popped up on the injury report. It did not. I was covering it. And I was saying at the time that this guy's busted up more than what they're telling you. I don't believe nothing they say. He might have had more concussions than they tell you, and he hid the broken ribs thing for a while. I'm surprised the NFL ain't tag him up for that, from hiding injuries. But I told y'all that. Now they admit to it. And now at the end of the year, here come all the injury stuff, so they can spin that as an excuse if something happens wrong with the Atlanta game. Well, we had a ton of excuses, Q. I mean injuries. Oh yeah. So watch out for that. So anyway, Loomis says we don't understand what all goes into coaching. We don't need to be coaches to understand what goes on in coaching, bro. That don't make no sense. They got people that watch the game. They watch enough of football. Football is not a complicated game, bro. It's not. It's a children's game that adults play. It's as simple as that. It's a children's game that adults play. I played football in high school. I played running back, fullback, and linebacker. And the principles that I learned then, I learned now. And my queens in the building, they never put on no foot and start tackling guys and all this kind of stuff. They didn't do that, but they have a supreme understanding of the game, don't they? Don't they? So, I mean, it's this weirdness thinking of trying to belittle you and tell you that you don't know what you're looking at. I tell you one damn thing, that they know what shit from sugar. I can tell you that much. They can tell the difference between garbage and something that is valuable. They can tell the difference between a real head coach and one that's not. They can tell the difference between a good quarterback and one that's not. They can tell the difference between a bad team and a good team. They can tell the difference between a prepared team and an unprepared team. They can tell the difference between a truth and a lie. That's what I'm talking about. So in the end, I know I talk aggressively against this because I'm not the one for this BS. I'm not the one for the trash. I don't placate. I tell the truth. I'm 100% real deal. Whether it's for my team or against my team, that's how I live. I got to keep it real. That's the bottom line. So if I see garbage happening with the Saints, I'm going to call it out. If I see trash happening with the reporters, I'm going to call it out. If I see foolishness with the players, I'm going to call it out. And at the same time, I'm going to elevate you. You do good. I'm going to elevate you and congratulate you. Like I congratulated Rashid Shaheed's Pro Bowl nod. Like I congratulated the Saints when they win games. I don't ride down on them when they win, but I'm not going to let you. We got to make you understand that you're not talking to dumb fanatics over here. These people got brains and they use them and they know what they're looking at. And more importantly, they got a memory. They know what you say because we play everything. But Brent, thank you, man. Appreciate said DA says he wishes there was a magic formula. Come on. Yeah, it is. It is. It's called accountability. It's called being consistent. That means stepping your game up, coaching better, communicating better, motivating better, changing personnel that's not doing what they're supposed to do, promote and demote. You know what that means? Offensive line coach stinks, demote him, put the next guy in line, see how he does. Same thing. Promotions and demotions are a part of teams that are underperforming, but you just don't stay the same. You don't keep the same foolishness doing a year and the same people that's underperforming. That's why the team is up and down and in and around. They don't like how I talk, but the hell with them. Thank you, Brent. Appreciate it.
I want to say thank you very much. Picking me up and bringing me back to this world.
All right, man. So shout out to the fam. Listen, I'm going to be back here, man. I just wanted to touch y'all and kind of touch on with some things with the family members and kind of talk to y'all about some of this stuff, man. But listen, in the end, we'll see this. I'm going to do a preview tomorrow. It'll be on a special Saturday stream with me and Lo. We'll preview the Saints and Falcons matchup on Saturday. We'll let you know the time and all that. Y'all just hit the notification bells. We'll do something on Saturday. And of course, y'all know the Sunday matchup will be starting at 11:30 11:45, excuse me, for the preview. And then the game, the play-by-play at 12, and then the post-game situation after 3, and then we'll be up out of there. So a full game, a final week 18 matchup, Saints and Falcons, hate week is on and popping. We doing what we do. Thank you, Brent. Appreciate you. Shout out to the rest of the Who Dat family. We up in this thing, man. I'm going to get on up out of here, man. I'm going to go to kind of watch the Pels game, man. We're going to do a recap with open phone lines after the Pelican matchup for my Pelican faithful. So much love to you guys. I'm going to see y'all on the next one, and I'm out. Peace.
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a Who Dat. I'm a Who Dat. Long as I'm living, I'm a Who Dat. Lose or winning, I'm a Who Dat. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a Who Dat. I'm a Who Dat. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like elf. I thank God every day I'm not a Falcon. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, and you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Yeah, probably like this, and I'm a Who Dat. Every day I'm living, I'm a Who Dat. Lose or winning, I'm a Who Dat. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a Who Dat. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shop.